Welcome everyone. Welcome to another video with us. My name is Robby Myles.
I'm TJT.
And we're here now to go in depth into some of the things that we look at, some of the things we want to happen in 2017. As the new year comes, a new year of wrestling meets our needs as well. And already with the new year started, we started to see so many new things, new champions, new wrestlers, just a brand new environment already starting. And we're just here to give you our opinions of some of the things we're going to expect for 2017.
Yes. So we're going to give our ideas of things that we would like to see, and then later on we'll go into want, will, bold, which we'll explain later on. And then we have a little bit of a treat at the end. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's get right into it here with our NXT call-up of 2017. Now, we only get one, and it's who we think will get called up in 2017, not who we want to get called up, sadly. So, Robby Myles, with that in mind.
Well, I think I win this way because it's both my want and the will. And I think it's going to have to go with Samoa Joe. It's about that time, WWE, that you stop treating these wrestlers like, to remind them that you guys are the best, and just go ahead and put someone who's good as Samoa Joe on the main roster. What brand? Whew, that's a good question.
It also, depending on when he debuts, because I think they're going to do what they did when the brand extension was first here. After WrestleMania 20, they're going to have a draft after every WrestleMania now to shake things up. In which case, now it almost won't even matter which show he's on because they're all starting from scratch.
Pretty much. So I'm going to have to go with Samoa Joe. I think that's the guy. I think it's about the time he gets to push and become the WWE superstar he signed up to be. Which is the only reason he's here. So that's what I'm going to have to say.
I'm also going to say Samoa Joe, and it's because there's so many options with Samoa Joe. There's so many, and not just for Samoa Joe, but for the people that are here now that may have exhausted their main event scene, or may not really see that many challengers in the mid-card scene. Like, Samoa Joe, whichever show he ends up on, is going to inject some much-needed freshness. He presents a different mystique. He's similar to Kevin Owens in how he debuted because he has a deep arsenal. He's a big guy, so he's intimidating. He's bigger than Kevin Owens, and yet he's still agile. He's smart. He's a good worker. So I think no matter what they do with him, he is going to be a guy that really shakes up whatever scene, whichever place on the card, whichever show he ends up on, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree.
So now we have our woman to watch of 2017. Now, Robby Myles, I have a feeling I have an idea of who you're going to pick, but let's go ahead and hear it. Robby Myles, who do you pick?
I gotta pick my girl Sasha Banks.
Of course.
Sasha Banks is the girl to watch, everyone. Sasha Banks is gonna be the girl on fire. I call Sasha Banks being the
we
next.
already have a girl on fire. That's Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's after the loss to Alexa Bliss. She's gonna have to take through some water on her. But just whoosh. But I'm gonna have to go with Sasha Banks. I feel that she's the one that's gonna have a good year, and that she should have a good year because she's a good wrestler. She's the best. I say she is. What I was gonna say earlier. She's the next Trish Stratus, and I think to this day, Trish Stratus is one of the best female competitors. There's China too.
One of the best female competitors.
And I think Sasha Banks has the chance of being in that same category as well. So, Sasha Banks.
And I'm also gonna go with Sasha Banks, mainly because. Oh, smell that? You smell that? It's not what The Rock is cooking. No, I smell a heel turn. I smell a heel turn, and it's coming, and they're building up Bayley to be the next big babyface. And this could be just like how in 2016 we had Charlotte versus Sasha, and that was the main thing most of that year. I think we're going to have Sasha Banks versus Bayley, or maybe we get some new blood in there. Maybe we get an Asuka call-up. Maybe not, but maybe we do. Probably not. But who knows? Sasha Banks has a lot of potential as a heel, so who knows? Anyway, so now we move on to the tag team to watch in 2017.
American Alpha. Come on, guys. Like, that's the team.
I'm sensing a theme.
It's the team that is on fire right now, and I think they're just going to continue to do great things right now. And I think they're a tremendously talented team. I think we're going to continue to watch them. I think they're going to really face some opponents that they're going to go back and forth against. You know, like to really show the strength of each tag team. So I think American Alpha is the team to keep an eye out for. I've already been watching them. I'm going to keep watching them some more. That's all I'm going to do because they're the team to watch. American Alpha. Yeah.
My team to watch for 2017 is actually going to be the Usos because it's been weird for them a little bit because they sort of were a little stale and maybe they were getting a few boos, so WWE eventually pulled the trigger and turned them heel. Then I started hearing some people cheer them, and they've been interesting. They've been interesting as a tag team since they've turned heel. I don't really agree with the fact that having them turn heel means having them turn ghetto, but fine. Whatever, WWE. Fine. I guess we just can't have a heel person of color without them being ghetto somehow. But okay, that's fine.
You know, stereotypes.
Whatever. But this goes in line with another thing that I would love to see in 2017 that I don't think WWE is smart enough or brave enough to do, but a guy can dream. So I'm going to be watching the Usos this year. I'm really excited to see where they go. If they're going to stay heel, if they're going to turn face again. Who knows?
We'll have to see.
We will have to see. So superstar to watch for 2017. Robby Myles, who's your pick?
I'm going to have to say Bray Wyatt is the one to watch. I think Bray is the one that, like, this little push with Randy Orton is finally the push that he needed. Although I'm going to be the one that everyone will be surprised at. But I'm not the big fan of them winning the tag team titles and everything like that. But I think
it's a little soon.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, I think this is the year for Bray. He's on the right show, in my opinion, because I feel like he would not have done great things on Raw. I think him being on SmackDown is the best option. I feel like I'm gonna go with Bray winning the Royal Rumble. Is that pushing it too far? I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Bray's gonna win the Royal Rumble. I'm gonna pray that Bray wins the Royal Rumble.
Interestingly enough, I also picked Bray Wyatt. This is more of a wishful pick for me because I think for a while now we've all been like, when are they gonna just go with Bray? When are they gonna invest in Bray? He's got a good character. He's got a connection with the fans. Why? When are they gonna go? Maybe 2017's the year. I really hope 2017's the year, and you'll also see how it factors in with our little surprise at the end of this episode later on. But I'm also going to go with Bray Wyatt for Superstar to watch in 2017. Alright, so now we're going to go into Book 2017. And this is going to consist of basically 4 parts. The first 3 we're going to do right now back to back to back. It is the want, the will, and the bold. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is what we want to happen in 2017. Whether or not it actually will happen, this is what we want to happen in 2017 most of all. So, Robby Myles, why don't you kick us off?
I mean, I know Bray is the one that I want. Bray is the wrestler that I want to achieve things. But the things that I do want to happen is for Dolph Ziggler to finally be a WWE champion. Is that asking too much for him to be a champion? Now, the thing that will happen, that I'm actually excited about, is Seth versus Triple H at WrestleMania. I think it's building up properly. And a bold prediction I'm thinking is that Bray Wyatt wins the Royal Rumble. I think it could be the boldest prediction, but I think that's what should happen. Bray should win. Like you have all the most truthfully random names to be in there. And by random I mean every part-time star wanting to be a part of the Royal Rumble. And I think it should go to Bray. I think Bray should be the winner of the Royal Rumble. So those are my three. My want, my will, and my bold.
So my want for 2017, I think a lot of us will agree. I want less McMahons. I want less McMahon meddling. I want to see less of Stephanie's face. I want to feel less of Vince's hands all over the product. I want less of it. That's not to say I don't want any, but this is what I thought was going to happen when they said, okay, there's going to be a general manager and there's going to be a commissioner. The general manager is there every single week, and the commissioner shows up when crap goes wrong, or when the big hand needs to come in, or the big, all right, you know what, this has gotten way out of hand. Like, I didn't think we were gonna see Steph every frickin' week, because we don't need to. And you know what? We don't need to see Steph face off against a women wrestler. We don't need it. We don't.
True.
If we get it, fine, but we don't need it. So that's what I want for the 2017. I may not get it. I'm probably not gonna get it. But Lord knows I want to see less Stephanie McMahon on my screen, because SmackDown Live has seen so much less of Shane.
Just that little Survivor Series injury though. Like I don't think it's been much. I think it hasn't been. Been much of a choice. Actually, more of a I'm kind of hurt.
Vince is like, God damn it, no.
I'm
tired of it. What I think will happen, no matter how I personally feel about it, I think Cena's gonna tie Flair.
I agree.
It's WWE, it's Vince's WWE still. It's gonna happen eventually.
I think he'll beat it, but that's just.
I really hope they don't have him beat it.
It's weird because I think because of who John Cena is right now, John Cena is one that I would say it would make me mad that he does it, but I would be okay with it. Like, truthfully, this is one that could be argued. I would have been okay with John Cena breaking Taker's streak, not Brock. I would have been okay.
That I also would have been less upset about.
Yeah, it's like I'm okay with Cena winning 3 or 4 Royal Rumbles to break Stone Cold's record. I'm okay.
That one I have a problem with.
I'm okay, but that's the thing. Like anyone else, I would be like.
I bet you wouldn't mind if Daniel Bryan did it.
He won't be doing that.
No. Now for my bold prediction, there are a few layers to it. The overall bold prediction is that they're going to turn Reigns heel. That's my bold prediction. I think in 2017, we are going to see, maybe even sooner rather than later, we're going to see a heel Roman Reigns. Because now I think it's time. And this has been my whole thing when it comes to Reigns. And everyone will go, oh, Roman Reigns should turn to heel. Everyone hates him anyway. But I'm like, that's not how wrestling works. Wrestling, you have to have it make sense in storyline for him to turn. I think now is a good time to turn him heel in a storyline. Or make a new storyline where he turns heel. Because for me, just now it makes sense. We had him face for a while. So now when he does turn, it's going to be a big deal. But even further than that, I'm going to go further down this rabbit hole. I think when they have the draft, Roman Reigns is going to be heel. I think when they have the draft, the Usos come over to Raw. Bruh, I would love to see a stable with Roman Reigns leading the Usos. And maybe you get Nia Jax in there. Maybe you get Naomi because of her, either with Jimmy or Jay, or whichever one. and just have a Samoan dynasty stable. I think that would be so great. Because when was the last time we had a really good big stable? I can't even remember. Especially a family stable. I think those are so great. Those are so cool. And it's just awesome. I think of all the potential that they could have. Because even they could even start as a heel and then get liked to the point where, then you turn them and then they become face. Maybe eventually Bray Wyatt actually becomes the cult leader that he was supposed to be and starts making actual Wyatt family from different superstars. And then they gotta sick the Samoan dynasty on. There's so many things you can do with it. And I think it would be really great, and that's my bold prediction. If not the Samoan dynasty, which I know that's a tall order, I want to see Roman Reigns turn heel at least. And that's going to go into our surprise a little bit here. So, we have taken the... I'm not going to talk like that. We have taken the liberty of booking WrestleMania 33. You're welcome, Vince. And we are going to be looking at how things change all the way up until we do our tail of the tape, our prediction video for WrestleMania 33, and then we're going to compare our cards to each other. We're going to compare those cards to the official card, and we're going to see whose is best, and then we're going to see, maybe if it works out that way, who's is closest to the official card. And then, of course, like always, we're going to predict the official card and see who wins that. So, this is interesting. I haven't thought this far. How do you how do you want to do this? You want to do your whole card, then I do my whole card? You want to go match?
Let's do your card, then I do my card, and then we'll do that.
Okay. So, I've tried, now, keep in mind, this is sort of a mixture because I was tempted to do complete fantasy dream booking, and then I was tempted to also do realistic booking, and I sort of came with an agreement of somewhere in the middle. This is what I would like to happen while in keeping with what I think WWE, it's my version of WWE. It's still in their logic, but it's what I think should happen. So, keeping that in mind, yes, we have to do the stupid Big Show versus Shaq match because it's actually been announced and they've been hyping it up and promoting it. Fine. I personally think, you know what? Just add them to the Memorial Battle Royal. Just,
again?
I don't care. I don't know why we're even seeing it. I don't want to. I hate it. But it's going to be on the pre-show because F that. It's not being on my actual card. I'm going to do the pre-show as well. So, pre-show starts with Big Show versus Shaq, so we get it over with. Then we have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, Memorial Battle Royal. I would actually have, if he's healthy, which I hope he is, then I would have Shelton Benjamin debut here and win. I'm not going to do winners for all of that, but just for the Battle Royal, I'm going to go ahead and say the winner here. So then, I would actually then have the last match on the pre-show is the Cruiserweight Championship match. Cedric Alexander versus Neville, the champion. I think that match would be amazing. And it would kick off WrestleMania without really kicking off WrestleMania. It would be a nice last pre-show match to go, you know what? Yeah, it's time. It's time for WrestleMania 33. So now getting into the actual card for the IC title match. Now I've done a thing here. Now, okay, I should preface this. I should preface this card by saying I had a version of this card, and then decisions were made on Raw, which made me basically have to redo my whole card. And I didn't think it'd be that drastic, but it was. Chris Jericho winning the United States Championship actually kind of fucked me a little bit. Just a bit. So, originally, I had two multi-man championships. I had a multi-man championship for the IC title, and I had a multi-man championship for the US title with both SmackDown and Raw participants. Because, like I said, I think they're going to have a draft after WrestleMania. So now it really doesn't matter who wins and which show it goes to, because now everyone's going to switch. Also, similar to Survivor Series, it adds a little bit more drama, even if they don't do the draft, because it's like, oh, maybe somebody new's going to win it. And it lets us see matchups that we haven't seen a million times. With that in mind, for the IC title, I have, of course, a ladder match, because that's just become a tradition now. I have Cesaro versus Sheamus versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews versus the champion, Dean Ambrose, for the Intercontinental Championship match. There's a bunch of different stories going on in there. You can have a bunch of different moments. Just think of Apollo Crews in the ladder match. It's so great.
That'd be great.
It's so great. And then just Cesaro in a ladder match. God. Just running all over the place. Like he did during that tag team match when he went wild. When he just went on a tear and was just
going.
Dive out of the ring. Jumping over this guy. That'd be great.
And just having a ball in his life.
Having the ball of his life.
Yeah, close enough.
So then after that, we have the match that I think WWE should have just waited on and turned him heel and then just let it ride. But I'm going to have Enzo and Cass versus the New Day, the champions, once again for the Raw Tag Team Championships. If you want them to be heel, you can have them be heel. If you want them to turn heel at WrestleMania, you can have them turn heel at WrestleMania. But I would also, maybe on the way to this match, hint that because of certain things that have happened with both teams and them not having the best of luck, maybe it's highly implied that whoever loses this match is probably going to disband as a tag team. Because now it's a little bit more stakes and it's a little bit more unpredictable. We've heard rumors of the New Day split, of WWE splitting up the New Day, which I'm fine with. And I've also heard that WWE is big on Cass, which sort of means they're going to have to split him from Enzo. So, again, I think that's a match that would be great and it has a lot of potential, it has a lot of stakes. I think I originally had that as a handicap match, but now I'm wondering why I changed it. I did a lot of changing after Chris Jericho won the United States Championship. Next, I have, and this is why I said this is my WrestleMania card, but it's in the same WWE logic that I kind of have to adhere to for it to be, somewhat realistic. So, yes, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar for the final time, hopefully, at WrestleMania 33. But the only way that I want to see it, the only way that I want to see this match, is if it's in an unsanctioned street fight. That's the only way. It's the only way I want to see this match. That's the only way it's going to be interesting to me. Is that these two are just so much combustible elements. They almost completely screw up the Royal Rumble. They wreak havoc on Fastlane trying to get to each other. That everyone's just like, you know what? No, you know what? Fine. I don't want this match on the record books. It's going to be unsanctioned. We're not responsible for whatever happens. You guys are just in a street fight. Go. Kill each other. Just, ugh. That's the only way. That's the only way I want to see this match. And maybe Lesnar wins via low blow. Call back to Undertaker. I don't know. It's just really weird where they're going with this match. Okay. Next, I have the Usos versus the champion American Alpha. The champions American Alpha in a elimination tornado tables tag team match.
Oh.
Yes. If you remember, this is a little bit, I think when Batista and Ric Flair won it from the Dudleys in like 2003 or 4 or something like that, they won it this way. I've seen this match done before, I think.
Well, yeah, the Royal Rumble 2000, the hardest one against the Dudley Boys in that way. So, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Elimination Tornado Tables match for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships between the Usos and American Alpha, renewing that rivalry. And like I said, I got a lot invested in the Usos. So, pumped. And then, of course, like I said, I had a multi-man match for both the IC and US titles. But now with some stuff that's happened, I have changed it to Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the US Championship match. It's going to be a match where emotions are flying, or whatever, I guess. This is past the point where I was interested in seeing this match. So this is purely just because I have to do it, because the US title has to be defended. And this is the thing that makes the most sense. Plus, if I had multi-man match after multi-man match after multi-man, it would start to get a little... So, it's a singles match to sort of mix it up a little bit. Then, for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, I have Becky Lynch versus Naomi versus the champion, Natalya. Now, how they get there, I don't know. But we've seen stranger things happen by WrestleMania time. And this is a match that I want to see this match. I just want to see Becky Lynch and Naomi and Natalya finally just prove, like, hey, we are the ones that are, like, good wrestlers on SmackDown Live. Let us have a match. It's specifically Naomi and Natalya. I don't like what they're doing with Natalya right now, and Naomi's not even on the card anymore. I
never heard of her.
I don't know where she went. Apparently she was injured, but now she's back, and just, God, handle her right, please, because she's so underrated. Then, of course, we have Seth Rollins versus Triple H. I have this in a no-holds-barred match, of course, because that's obviously what they're going to do with it. If they don't, I'll be shocked. The stipulation I have added on here is that if Triple H wins, Rollins is fired. If Rollins wins, Triple H must retire from active competition. That's what makes the most sense in my head. Obviously, Seth Rollins is going to win. It's a nice swan song for Triple H because his mentee has now overtaken him. We've seen him do the student outwits the master thing so many times, it figures that it's also the last match we see him wrestle, and it's at WrestleMania. It's just time. He's got way too much stuff that he's doing backstage. Time to hang up the boots. Next, I have Bray Wyatt versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Because do it. Turn AJ face, for God's sakes, because they're not going to stop cheering him. And let Bray Wyatt bring forth his demonic powers and finally overwhelm the Phenomenal One and get his WrestleMania moment and win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. Are you changing things now?
No.
Okay. I thought you were like, crap, that's good. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'm going to steal it. I didn't have a joke to capitalize on that. I feel like there's a Vince McMahon joke about that somewhere. Somewhere. Then, for the Raw Women's Championship, I'm actually really proud of myself for this. Because I had one match, and then I just thought one day, I was like, if WWE does this, I'll give them so much more props. Because it makes so much sense. And it's almost like they planned it, though they clearly did. I have Bayley versus the champion Charlotte with Sasha Banks as the special guest referee. Because, yes. Because that makes so much sense. And if you want to do a heel turn, it's like right there. Oh, it's so great. And the build up to that match, would just be amazing. Then of course I have John Cena versus the Undertaker because they need to do that match, and I don't know why they're not doing it, and I don't want to see Braun Strowman versus the Undertaker. I don't want to see it. I don't.
No one wants to see
Nobody wants to see that. Terrible. But now, the main event, which I'm going to combat your pick for the Royal Rumble with my pick for the Royal Rumble in the main event. And this is also where things got real messed up because of Jericho. I have the winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble, Finn Balor, taking on the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. More importantly, heel Roman Reigns. Because God... Can you just imagine how into that match the crowd would be? Even after like all the stuff that I've listed, there's so much you can do with this. Now, the reason I did this is because when I heard the rumors or the rumblings in the IWC that, Roman Reigns lost the United States Championship match. That means he has to win the Universal Championship now. Isn't that just the worst? And I almost said, well, first of all, that doesn't mean he's going to win the Universal Championship. There's nothing that says he's going to. But then I thought about it. And I realized I would much rather have Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion than Kevin Owens. Because Kevin Owens has been booked terribly. And he's not believable as champion anymore. If you put the title on Roman, especially if you turn him heel, I mean, God, like all of a sudden now the Universal Championship is a lot more interesting. And also, Seth Rollins has made it known that after he deals with Chris Jericho, he's coming for the Universal Championship. Which means we would get Seth Rollins versus whoever the Universal Champion is at Fastlane probably, which we've already seen Seth Rollins take on Kevin Owens. I, however, would love to see Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns with the heel Roman Reigns. Now the roles are reversed from before. I would love to see that match. They could tell a great story in that match and make it seem like Fastlane is now actually a meaningful pay-per-view. And of course, Triple H will probably screw him out of the championship. But that's a little predictable. But then, think about it. Really think about it. Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns for Universal Championship makes so much sense. Think about how Finn got the opportunity to even challenge for the Universal Championship in the first place. Who would he beat? Roman Reigns. Exactly. This match would be amazing. The storytelling, it tells itself. Yeah, I want to see that match so bad. And of course, WWE's not going to do it. That's what I preface all of my stuff.
That's how you end it out with. You're ending it out with.
And of course, WWE's not going to do it.
Well, that's his list. And here's my list that does a little resemble his. I am gonna put out the ones that I see that will happen. I'm gonna say Seth versus Triple H. I'm gonna say Cena versus Taker. Let me see what else.
Please God.
I'm gonna say Shaq versus Big Show. The unfortunate thing is that we know WWE very well. They're not gonna put that in the pre-show. They're gonna put that in the big thing. They're gonna push that as much as they can. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which I am over. Cause I thought it was gonna be like this one WrestleMania 30 thing and then be done and over with.
All I know is that they better not put a frickin' meaningful title on the pre-show. Damn it, WWE, don't do that. Don't do it.
I think they will as a way to get people to watch the pre-show, but that will not get me to watch the pre-show.
No.
Well, first of all, here's the thing. I'm going to watch the pre-show either way. You don't have to add something else to make me watch the pre-show. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I just don't have much of a choice. As part of my WrestleMania day, that's one of the things I watch. I watch it all.
It's like when football fans watch the thing before the actual game, like the kickoff show.
They're going to watch it.
They're going to watch it.
I'm also Also, I'm going to agree with the tag team, SmackDown tag team titles, the Usos versus American Alpha. I'm going to agree with that as well. And I think those are the ones that I have. Here are the matches that are similar but differ a little more. One is the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Women's Champion. The Raw, I'm going to go with Sasha versus Bayley for the title. I don't know what they'll do with Charlotte at WrestleMania itself, but I think having Sasha and Bayley face off, because if not Sasha and Charlotte, we all know that the most watched women's match in NXT was Bayley versus Sasha. It's like that has to be a match that goes to WrestleMania and for the title. And in my opinion, should be the time, as much as I love Sasha, should be the time that Bayley actually wins the title. As Sasha at WrestleMania. Another match that I'm going to do is altering the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. If we just use the people on SmackDown now, I'm going to say Dean Ambrose defending the title against The Miz, Apollo Crews, Dolph Ziggler, Luke Harper, and Randy Orton as the 6 people to go for that title in that 6-man title match. I think that's some of the 6 that would be the best choice for that to go for the title. Another one I agree with was the Owen versus Jericho for the United States title as well. For the SmackDown Women's title, this is the one that I know TJT is going to definitely disagree with. But we know they have to give her some kind of push.
Oh God, no! Oh wait, no!
They have to give her. They can't have her boyfriend be a star and not have her do anything. I'm gonna have to go with Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch.
Oh!
For the women's title.
Oh!
It's as much as we don't want it. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's
Becky.
Who wins? I don't know. But like
if Nikki Bella's going.
It depends. And I don't know who will walk in as champion. That's what I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'll say that. Depending on who walks in as champion, I can make a prediction from there. Because I think Becky winning will put Becky on another level. With Nikki, since being the top female wrestler in the business right now.
That means that she's gonna make Nikki tap.
See, you're starting to like this already.
Only if she loses.
The main event match, not the main event match. I also agree for the WWE title. I'm also going to agree with Bray versus AJ as well for the WWE title. I think that's the push that Bray needs because that's when Bray wins. I think that's when it all happens. The Universal title match is where I think was one person added to your match that you don't want added. And that's I'm going to say this. If he's not going to face The Undertaker, then Braun Strowman's going to be in a triple threat match with Roman Reigns and Finn Balor for the Universal title. I think they're trying to with the way they're trying to push him to be a star, I feel that's the best way they're going to do it. They're going to push him into that title match. And who's going to walk out champion again, I'm not sure. But I think those are the 3 who are going to represent the Universal triple threat match at WrestleMania. Do I think it should be the main event? Absolutely not. But will it happen?
So you probably have Cena versus Taker for the main event.
Yeah, I would say Cena versus Taker for the main event. I think that'd be a good match.
Especially if it's a retirement match.
Yeah, Yeah.
There's no way they could follow that.
No.
God,
no.
Don't put them in that trap.
They always seem to put people in that trap. But I think that's my card. It's a similar route you're taking, but I think even some of the matches there might a tweak or two that I have that we'll see what they do with 33 this year.
And you sort of went with the similar mindset I did of like doing it your way, but still keeping it in
realistically because as much as I want to go my way, like my way wouldn't go, but I have to keep the WWE logic in because
I noticed you didn't have Goldberg and Brock.
I don't think I don't know what they're gonna do with those 2. those two.
I know they're gonna have Brock at WrestleMania. At least Brock.
They're gonna have Goldberg there too. I know they are. They can't just have him as. They already have him at the two of the big four. They might as well toss him in for one more, especially the biggest one of them all. I mean, if I want to stab in the dark here, if he comes back, they would do. I would rather see a Brock versus Rock at WrestleMania 33 before I see a Brock versus Goldberg.
He'd get hurt.
I mean, well, yeah, but I think it would be the Rock's way of coming back, since the only time they wrestled again, Brock demolished him there. So
I could see it happening next year. Maybe. One thing I was, and I'll say this first, and then I'll say what I was gonna say. You may have noticed that a lot of people were missing from my card, like people like The Miz, people like Luke Harper, Randy Orton. I originally had matches for them, and then I realized, holy crap, this is going to be a long show. So I took their storylines and dumped them into the Memorial Battle Royal, because that's what they do sometimes anyway. They have storylines that resolve themselves at the Battle Royal, or they continue past.
Yeah.
I originally had Luke Harper versus Randy Orton in a casket match, which I really like that. It's probably the only way I would be interested in that match. If it's just a singles match, I wouldn't care.
I don't know. I like Luke Harper as a wrestler.
I do.
I think he deserves a good push too. I think he's the one. He's the one member of the Wyatt family. I think they always put him in the Wyatt family. With he'll be just fine being a singles.
That's why he's the only one that's won a singles title.
No, even over Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, Randy Orton RKO's Luke Harper into a casket.
Death.
Immediate death. Well, they're already in a casket. That's a match we haven't seen in forever.
Not true.
Not since Undertaker stopped wrestling full time. Oh, imagine that. Kane could still do it. Whatever. And I originally had Miz versus Bryan, but that's a long shot. Okay, fine. So when I had to cut matches, I was pretty much the first one to go. Like I said, Chris Jericho winning the United States Championship really surprisingly screwed up half my card. So I had to reshift everything over. And in terms of people debuting or returning, like Angle and Benjamin and things like, well, we know Benjamin is going to come sooner or later. That's why I went ahead and did Benjamin. But Angle and Samoa Joe and Kenny Omega, I guess, or Ty Dillinger and people like that, I'm just going to wait until it's they're here instead of speculating, because if we're really going to speculate all the returns right around the corner from the Royal Rumble, we're going to be here all day.
Really?
So, I mean, did the best I could. Yeah.
That's all we could do. Yeah. The best we could.
Better than Vince? Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
I'm really interested. If Vince puts on a better card than either of us, I mean, we're big enough to say if the card is better. We're big enough to say if, you know what, Vince?
You got a good card.
We didn't think about that. We didn't think about those things.
And he's like, I know. Well, thank you.
That's why.
That's why it's my company.
That's why you're a millionaire instead of a billionaire. You know what?
Sure.
Hashtag pipe bomb. I'll always be a Sam Punk Park.
Oh.
It's not just because I'm from Chicago and I'm straight edge. No. But of course, we thank you for watching. We thank all of our family and friends for watching this. Hopefully they shared it. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Help us show your support. We'd love to keep doing these videos for you guys. It's a lot of fun. Until next time, I'm TJT.
I'm Robby Myles.
And we will see you probably next time is the tail of the tape for Royal Rumble. Even though you know who we both think is going to win.
Or do we? Dum dum dum.
Yeah.